Hey guys, another Ask Ashley Astrology 101. What I love and like and dislike about your sign. I'm going to stick it with literally 2 things for each sign because I don't want this to be a long video. I'm going to try to make it a short, sweet video that everybody can relate to, and hopefully you'll learn something more about your sign. This was a video request. Although I have done this before as far as like telling you what I like and what I don't like about your sign, I'm going to go ahead and do it again. That way I can post this video on my YouTube channel. So if you like this video, please subscribe and hit that like button. So we're going to start with the first sign. I always start with Capricorn. Now I do understand planetary alignment, the moon, the stars, and everything as to when you're born and why astrology is so important and why it is so true. And it's not pseudoscience, it's actually a true thing. And I'm a big conspiracy theorist, so for me to tell you that astrology is true, it's absolutely true. Horoscopes, I'm kind of on like the no, that's not true type of thing because I don't really believe in like reading fortune. But we will start with Capricorn. So Capricorn, what I really love about your sign is that you guys have a really good work ethic. And it usually comes from a place of passion. It's not just this mundane 9 to 5, I have to do this, I have to do that to provide for my family. You guys actually work out of passion, out of drive, out of something that is so deep inside you, that is such an important place within you that drives you to be such a successful person and someone who is such a great provider for their family. So that's number one thing that I love about Capricorn is their work ethic. The second thing I love about Capricorn is that they are great listeners. They are great people to talk to who can stand kind of unbiased, and they can be very good at listening to both sides of the story and being more objective. So they don't really pick a side. They're just more of somebody who listens to you and can understand and can usually come up with a story that can relate to yours, make you feel a little bit, better about your situation. The one thing I don't like, or one of the 2 things I don't like so much about Capricorn is that me being a Virgo, and your fellow earth sign, for some reason it's really easy for me to cut people out of my life, and it's becoming easier and easier the older I get. Now Capricorns generally do not cut people out of their life, and when they do, it takes a lot. You guys tend to give second chances to people that definitely don't deserve it. And the second thing that I don't like about your sign, and just to be completely honest, is because you do work so hard, sometimes you miss out on a lot of fun things and you put a lot of pressure on yourself that is unneeded and unnecessary a lot of times, because you miss out on the fun things and you forget who you really are, and you forget, all of your passion doesn't have to go into work, but rather it could be divided into different areas of your life. Aquarius. Okay, so you guys, what I love about you is it doesn't matter how lonely the person is. You are going to be either in a social setting or a family function or whatever, and you're going to see the lonely person in the room, and you're going to be that person that goes over there, helps them, talks to them. You have great conversation. You're super deep. You're very loving, and everything that you do, the second thing I love about you guys is everything you do has its own artisan touch on it, your own little signature thing. You're very good in the humanitarian section. You're very good at understanding. You're very good at looking at the bigger picture and being great providers. And I really like that about you guys. You guys are very frontiersmen, homesteader type people. The downfall of the Aquarius, in my opinion, is basically sometimes, at times, you give a little bit too much of yourself to very undeserving people. Because you want to keep the peace. You're an air sign, so you want to keep the peace. The other thing is that you can tend to be a little bit on the reserve side when it comes to going to certain places, like taking care of yourself, like getting your nails done, or being a little bit selfish to make sure that you have things for yourself, usually doesn't take precedence to you guys. So generally in a relationship, you tend to put up with a lot of stuff that you shouldn't, because you're such a giver, and you're such a lover, and you always fight for what you love. You never give up, but you sometimes do forget about yourself and the things that you need to keep you rejuvenated and moving forward in life. All right, really, really quick. Aries, 2 things I love about your sign. You guys are great. Like, if I needed somebody to go work out with me, you would probably change your diet so that we could be on the same diet. You would be down to work out with me. You'd be there to give me advice, and you know, you're always down for something physical, whether it be outdoors, whether it be a new adventure, a new store, a new theme park, whatever. You guys are always down for something amazing. Number 2 is you guys have great sex appeal. You always have these, you know, a good air about you where you're just like, I'm good with myself. I know who I am. I have so much self-evidence. I am able to go out there and just be myself, and you are yourself 100%. You guys are very, very real, and you're not afraid of being real. You put your opinions out there like nobody's business, and you guys are really, really good at contributing to the world and bringing the people that are more quiet and reserved kind of out of their shell. And I really love that about Aries. What I don't like about Aries so much is that they can have an air of arrogance. With an Aries, a lot of times, even if it's misunderstood, and even if it's not misunderstood, a lot of times you can come across as arrogant, pushy, you know, you're giving unwarranted advice, and sometimes, you know, that can be a little bit off-putting. But aside from that, you guys are pretty cool. We're going to move on to the second thing I don't really like too much about Aries. The other thing I don't really like about Aries so much is that you guys can be very, very feisty. So, you know, you have that competitiveness and that feistiness. So if I go out and play pool with you, it's not that I'm trying to beat you or prove anything. You can play a game of pool with me and you can lose and be okay with it. Taurus. Okay, so I really love Taurus. They're my fellow earth sign as well as the Capricorn. What I really love about Taurus, 2 things, and it's really hard to just narrow it down to 2 things, and I'm not playing favorites, is that Taurus can make anything into a home. They can organize, they can think, they can see details. And like, let's say I'm going to have a big grand birthday party here for myself, and I am frantic. I'm a freaking Virgo. The bathroom's a mess. I have makeup everywhere. I have this, that, and all over the place. I have a Taurus friend will come over, clean, get that cake ready, you know, put on the baby shower, put on everything. And they're so well planned, and they're so put together, and they're so freaking great at like making you feel at home always. And that's what I absolutely love about Taurans. It's just it's a beautiful thing about them. And they're very, very nurturing. And they're great. The second thing I love about Taurus is they're okay with being home. They're okay with you saying, hey, you want to come over and watch this movie? We can hang out in our PJs, maybe drink some Merlot, which I don't drink wine, but whatever, right? So, and they're okay with that. You don't have to do anything great for the Taurus to want to be a friend to you or for you or with you. Taurus just kind of accepts you as you are, and they're amazing. There's 2 things I don't really like about Taurus when it comes down to it, and that's the bullheadedness, which we already know. They're a bull. So not only are the first thing would be that they're slow to act. It's great to have patience, but when you're somebody like me that has everything planned out till like the day I die, literally, it's hard to deal with somebody that doesn't really have it planned out, like step by step by step, because they're always like, well, not yet. You know, I'm not sure. I'm still working on this. They have all these great ideas, but sometimes it takes a while to execute those things. So with time management, Taurus, I don't know. It's kind of one of those things. The other thing I don't really like about Taurus a lot is that they will say, I'm going to go on a diet. I want to be healthier, da, 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 da. And you're giving them all these tips, and you're helping them along. You know, you're the Virgo here, or at least I am. And they're like, they're not very accountable for the things that they do, but they make other people very accountable. So, you know, you go out, they're ordering a small pizza with extra cheese, and you're like thinking to yourself, what the heck did I just get myself into? So, they're not great at taking other people's advice. They usually have everything planned out, and they're very decisive on everything that they want. So it's good. They don't need advice. But if I was a Taurus, or if I was giving advice to a Taurus, sorry about that, I would definitely say, just, you know, have a little bit of plan and substance behind the things that you do, and also take advice and accountability for the things that you do. And it's okay to say sorry. I don't mean to throw a third one in there, but since they are so bullheaded, like even if they do something that's exceptionally wrong, they will not say that they're sorry. Or at least I haven't encountered that so far, yet. All right, let's go on to Pisces. So Pisces is the fish that is moving into two different directions. They are very mystic. They are very musically inclined. They have great ideas. That's the first thing that I love about the Pisces, is that they really do have great ideas. They will open your mind to different things. They will, if you're able to kind of tap into that and get into their heart and their core and be able to talk to them, they have beautiful qualities that are just mind-blowing that you can just like think on, and they're just great. They're great people. The second thing that I love about Pisces is that they are so good at being a comfort. They are so good at being relatable. They are so good at understanding what you're going through and wanting to help you, wanting so desperately to help you. And they will. And they will be there for you, and they'll never leave your side. Pisces are great friends. There are two things that I'm going to list that are not so desirable about the Pisces. And again, I am not being like playing sides at all. Two of my favorite people in this world that have passed on were Pisces. One thing about Pisces is nailing down what they want. Nailing down what they want. They have all of these interests that are so expansive that sometimes they have a hard time nailing it down. The other thing is that they can become very in themselves, very shelled, very closed off, to where you don't know how they're feeling, you don't know what to think. They can be a little bit confusing because they sometimes don't understand all of these thoughts and theories and emotions that they have, that they're not able to communicate that with you. And so that's not really their fault, but that is one of the less desirable qualities of the Pisces, if you will, that I have issues with on occasion. And I just got those two signs swapped around, but we're good. We're good. All right, let's move on to Gemini. Gemini people, what I love about Gemini are they are always down for literally anything. Geminis will make you laugh, make you joke, make you think. They always want to introduce new music, new movies, new things. They'll go to new places. They're easily excitable. They're often very, very gifted people. So I love that outgoing, outwardness, very just happy, people. And they are the duality, so you got to remember there's an opposite side to that as well. The second thing I love about Geminis, and this is kind of across the board for air signs, but with Gemini, is that Geminis are great at showing you a good time. So if you're a closed off, quiet person, it doesn't really do much, but you really should, or you're going through a breakup, you're going to want to hang out with a Gemini, because not only do they have, a good advice and a good conversation and all of these wonderful things, but they're able to introduce you to new things that can make you think on different levels and different planes and stuff like that. So Geminis are great. Geminis really are. Now, there are two qualities that I'm going to list about Geminis that are not so desirable. First being that Geminis, when they realize that people are reacting to their jokes, they'll tell more and more and more jokes, and they expect you to laugh. And if you don't, they get highly offended. So it's kind of weird, right? And then the second thing about Gemini also is that because they are the duality, they also have a problem with being, downright decisive as to what they want in their life. And they can be sometimes wishy-washy with friends, and sometimes they can be a little bit independable only because they have that duality. They have that opposite side to them. One side is fun and playful and imaginative and creative, and the other side is kind of like, okay, I'm exhausted now. So that's Gemini in a nutshell. Cancer. Okay, so I don't want to sound horrible, and I know that you guys that are studying astrology or are new to astrology have heard so much stuff about Cancers. I'm going to try to make it short for you, short and sweet. So Cancer, two qualities I love about Cancers is that Cancers will love you no matter what. even if it's not in their best interest. They will love you. They will be down for you. They will come to you in the middle of the night. They're extremely loyal people. The second thing about Cancer is they are extremely sensitive. So those are the people that are going to care for you when you are at your worst, your dead level worst. You're going to need a Cancer. But there are two things that I'm going to list real quick about Cancers. Number one, they're extremely indecisive. I say this time and time and time and time and time again. So, because they are indecisive, they constantly ask for advice, but they want to feel secure with themselves, so they never take your advice. So they're constantly calling you, asking you for advice, and it can be a little bit overwhelming because they never ever take your advice. They just want to kind of talk about something. And there's people that have better patience with Cancer. Me, not so much. And it does vary. I mean, it does vary. It's not, this is a definite thing. It's very true. Now, Cancers also do not mean to be, but they can be emotionally manipulative because their emotions are so strong and they are so apt to crying and showing emotions, and they have no problems doing so. Sometimes you can end up in a sticky situation because you feel so sorry for them because their emotions are so deep, because they are a water sign and they're the mother of the zodiac, where you're just feeling like drained and emotional, and should I do this for them and should I not do this for them? And so it's like a trap. And it doesn't, and I'm not saying this that they're doing it on purpose. 9 times out of 10, they're not. It's just a natural manipulating type love because of their nature. That's all it is. Leo. What I love about Leo is that Leo, they're not going to lie to you. They're going to be completely straight up with you. And that's great because people need that. Now, I'm a Leo Virgo cusp. I tend to lean a little bit in my personality more towards Virgo. But with Leo, like I said, they are freaking straight up great people. The second thing I love about Leo is that they will take you to the nicest places. They will spend money on you. They will care for you in materialistic type ways. But they will be forever loyal to you as well. They will stand up for you. They will fight for you. They will always be in your corner. And you can count on that time and time again. Now, there's two qualities I'm going to mention that are not, the best. One is that a lot like the Aries, they can be extremely arrogant. But what I'm going to say for the Leo is that the Leo has a hard time connecting emotionally because they're a fire sign. So when you're trying to explain something to a Leo, they may take it very, very personal and become defensive. And they're going to be kind of unable to feel where you're coming from. So therefore, they appear to be cold. The second thing about a Leo is that Leo, sometimes their heart is so big, even though they don't always show it, that they will go on and on, much like the Capricorn, where they'll keep people in their life that are unhealthy because they don't know what to do with that. They just want to be loyal. They don't want to stray from that situation. And therefore, it makes it very difficult on them and on others that are like, okay, should I stay or should I go? And they don't have the answer for that. Virgo. So I'm a Virgo, and I'm just going to be straight up. I think the best thing about Virgo is that Virgo is a lot like Taurus. They can plan things for you. They'll be there for you. They're very intellectual. They can help you pretty much, with your budget, with your relationships, with your animals. They're humanitarians. They are caretakers. They're great, wonderful people. The second thing about Virgo is that they're very deep thinking people. So their motto, or their mantra rather, is I analyze. So a lot of times you'll see a Virgo just analyzing, constantly needing to recharge because their mind is going 1,000, steps ahead of anybody else, right? So the Virgo is really good at helping you plan and helping you be very grounded and those types of things.